world surrounded by franchises, reboots, and shared universes. An elite team of podcasters will risk body and soul to investigate the depths of intellectual properties, one multiverse, subgenre, and trend at a time. Who are we? We're the IP Squad.
Welcome back to the IP Squad and our ongoing investigation into films based on Sherlock Holmes. I'm John Campbell. With me, of course, the Jones boys. We've got Brendan Jones.
Hello.
And Robin Jones.
Hey, John. John, I'm so sorry. I didn't even bring this up, and you were so kind and patient to allow me to thank you, which you hate, I know, publicly.
I can't stand the thank yous.
Because this show, this one that we're doing today, this episode, Brendan, you didn't know this. You didn't get that memo.
Yeah.
No.
It is the pilot, the backdoor pilot for a new podcast. It'll only be on Patreon. And when I pitched this to John, he said, I don't know if that's going to work or not, but I said, give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Priceless Films, where we talk about the films of Vincent Price, horror. To stay true to kind of what seems to be.
Right, he loves the horror. Yes.
Thing, yeah, and we'll be talking about so many titles, and I can't believe that this episode, this backdoor pilot, is the one non-horror film that we're talking about. Because
I thought Priceless Films would be a discussion of films in which Vincent Price does not show his face.
Yeah.
The five films.
Yeah, and of course the video for Thriller.
I was gonna say, Thriller, obviously, yes. Yes.
Yes.
This, of course, yeah. You actually can, of course. These are normally jokes.
Wait, we already did it?
We actually already recorded
God.
all the episodes of a show called Price is Right, was actually the name of the show.
Price is Right?
Price is Right, not The
We
Price
did
is
that.
Right,
Okay.
because that would be
We did that.
legally infringing. So
wait.
Price is Right.
So
You can
we
listen to
might
all the
recall this
episodes right now. This is the earliest patron plug, but you can go over to patreon.com/punchup and punchupent and get all those episodes right now. Binge them all.
I'm gonna need to. Did we do this while I would just call you guys at random, like on a Zoom?
That's the really interesting thing about the show was that Robin did it without ever knowing he was on a podcast. That was what was really amazing about it.
So
did we get paid?
Let's see. Hold on. Podcast payment? What? No. All right.
And today's episode's brought to you by Casper Mattress.
Don't give them free.
Comes to you in a
Don't
box
give
the
them
size
free
of
advertising.
sorry.
You can't just claim sponsors.
All right.
So
before we get
the
started,
internet is interesting, but putting together websites pretty
All
hard.
right.
John,
Yeah.
Thank God for Squarespace.
Yeah, thank God for Squarespace. All right,
Our friends
Brendan.
at Squarespace.
Brendan,
What I was
what were
going
you
to say is we're about to talk about The Great Mouse Detective from 1986, made by Walt Disney.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for getting us on
by
track.
Walt. They
This was
and
written
he
direct. Yeah,
drew and drew and drew. But here's the thing I want to do. We haven't had to do this before on the podcast.
Right.
I'm going to issue spoiler warnings.
Okay.
Today's episode will discuss topics of child abduction,
Yes.
homosexuality,
Sure.
and some really disgusting animal on animal action. So if these are sensitive topics for you folks at home.
I don't know if you've seen a Disney
by the
movie
way,
though.
what my brother the writer means is trigger warnings, not spoiler warnings.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Trigger warnings.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, both.
Your brother, the writer, is still a little groggy. So I will say, I will say you're absolutely right.
Yes.
But they're also spoiler warnings because those things do happen. But trigger warnings, if you have a problem with those things, don't listen to the podcast.
Here's the thing about this. I watched this.
You're offended by grogginess. Please.
Yeah, if you're offended by a guy going, "Hey, you know something? I got a little joke. I got a little. This will get you."
Here's the thing.
Have we done one of these sober is my question, because I don't remember The Price is Right at all, guys.
I can't remember.
Wow.
Price is Right. The ghost of Bob Barker will sue me if we call it The Price is Right. The thing about this, it's interesting you mentioned that, Brendan, because I watched this. This was a childhood favorite of mine. No surprise to anyone, especially the era I grew up in. This was like dead center for me as a Disney kid, as a mystery kid. But I watched this with my sister, who we grew up watching all the clamshell cased VHS Disney things. But this one was not as much hers because we were sort of the gender normed kids, right? She liked the princess movies, I liked the other ones. Whatever, But it's interesting. So she hadn't seen this in forever, and we were watching it, and she just goes, "This is kind of fucked up for like a kid." Like she was surprised at how dark some of this gets. And I think the bat is creepy. The cat that's legitimately eating, Radigan's henchman. I mean, it's still a kid's movie, but it is an interesting thing. It's a little bit what we talk about with young Sherlock Holmes too. It's what I kind of miss about the '80s kids movies. They used to be a little bit darker, not crazy dark, but a little bit.
It's from the studio that brought you Bambi's mother's death.
Yeah, the Disney stuff. And I enjoy a lot of Disney.
Foreign idea to the Disney.
I enjoy a lot of Disney stuff today, but yeah, nobody's really getting killed in Frozen.
I saw this in the theater when it came out as a junior in high school, and it scared the shit out of me. Okay, no.
John.
Yes.
That is how I found out about how funny it was my brother telling me, "No, you don't understand. There's really good bits in this. I think you'll like it a lot, Rob."
This to me is really like a prime example of what works about when Disney's really on fire. Like, this thing really works for kids and adults. It's smart. It's for kids. It's like 75 minutes.
That's always been Disney's strength from the get-go.
Yep.
And this thing made me sad watching it, only because it's not the last, but we're getting towards the end of the straight-ahead 2D animation, and I'm looking at it going, that is all hand-drawn and painted. I mean, except for the Clockworks, which were,
which look great, though.
And we've used computer, but it's painted over it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it fits seamlessly. It doesn't feel like, here's the computer sequence.
It's not like the ballroom dance scene in Beauty and the Beast, but still, you look at this thing and you go, oh my God, that's an art form that's just disappearing. And it's just so smooth because it's Disney. And this is one, Great Mouse Detective is not one that they put their best guys on, because they're working on like Little Mermaid and so forth at the same time or whatever. This is like the B team.
They were working on Black Cauldron at the same time.
Which I also,
at the same time as
love. And
talk about dark.
I loved Black Cauldron as well. These were two that I loved and didn't realize until I was older, though, that both Black Cauldron and Great Mouse Detective bombed big for Disney. Like these were like, we've got to.
Great Mouse Detective, though, I did better.
Did okay.
Great Mouse Detective
You're right. It did okay. Black Cauldron.
The history of Disney is a real turning point for the company, because first time they used computer animation in a 2D animated film, and the last time they had the last of the great old men that Disney worked with is an advisor on the film, and they drew Dawson to kind of resemble him.
That's great.
So you really and it was really the one that Eisner and Katzenberg were able to, because they had just taken over the company. They really took a look at it and had the script rewritten. They worked on the pacing of it, because, guys, as much as we can praise Disney for a lot of things, pacing was not his biggest strength.
No, and that was the thing I knew as a kid.
Lady
without
Tramp, it just kind of
Yeah, that's something
rambles,
I
and
remember.
Mary Poppins even just sort
Oh,
of
Mary Poppins is there's way more.
slow.
People remember all the
Yeah,
6 or 7 great
numbers.
bits of Mary Poppins, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bits in between, whenever I've watched it again, I'm like, right, there's like long sections that are just not that no
I
one
won't
remembers.
listen to any of this. You guys are.
I'm
It's
not saying it's a
sacrilege, and
bad movie,
I,
but I
you know,
do
you
remember
guys can
this.
just go
To your point,
die.
Robin, being a kid at this time,
Yeah.
it's sort of end of into the Disney '90s renaissance that that led to all the blockbusters of those. As a kid, when I would go back, and watch Dumbo, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, things like that. Yeah, I didn't dislike them, but I didn't go to those as much because they didn't play the same. And I don't think it was just that they were older. I do think it's a pacing thing that I wasn't able to.
Pacing.
I wouldn't have been able to say that as a kid, but like Jungle Book was. Well, I loved Jungle Book, and because that one flowed like an adventure movie, Robin Hood,
and,
things like that.
101 Dalmatians. Also.
Yeah.
But that was when Disney started using not a Xerox, but a copying machine process to just churn out stuff that they could not take the time to individually draw.
Right.
And so things kind of broke down there, which is why by the time you get to Robin Hood, the beloved Robin Hood,
So good.
and the Aristocats,
Yep.
the backgrounds aren't as strong, and it's not Hanna-Barbera, but it's along the lines of what Hanna-Barbera was doing, just daily.
Well, we
I
did.
will also say that they always, pretty much project to project, from the 40s to now, they change their art styles up.
Yep.
And they were experimenting. I mean, like Aristocats is supposed to look like sketched in charcoal backgrounds, very sort of
track. To lose the track a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of stuff. So, or, like soft pastel-y things for 101 Dalmatians. It looks like a British watercolor. So they were very much trying that on purpose. And sometimes it works. I mean, you look at what really cracks me up is anytime they do the things now where they put all their princesses together, like in a group shot, and and you just look at the different art styles. You're like, they're not from the same universe. Sleeping Beauty is all angular, and she doesn't look anything like Snow White, who's got all the rounded 30s features. And all that
it's
stuff.
an interesting thing because I think people think of them as there being a Disney house style, and there is, but there is to certain extents. But yes, it does change and ebb and flow through time. There are eras within it.
No, it's actually. Shrek does a better job of making them all seem like they're from the same place.
Yeah, or I was thinking about the Wreck-It Ralph movie sort of made a homogenized version of them too, where they are familiar. They're still recognizable as all those characters, but matching style because it's CG. But the thing, something I always respect about Disney is something I seem to remember them saying, particularly because I was, a nerdy kid, surprise, who would watch all the behind-the-scenes stuff with the animators. Was they would try to each movie they would try to do something they'd never done before. They would try to be, can we do this? Let's try this. I mean, the thing about the CG in this was sort of a test, right? I mean, in some ways, then it became the norm, but at the time it was kind of wild to be using CG in this movie.
Yeah. I and John, I was not a child when all of the Great Mouse and stuff from the 80s came out, but having raised a child, I have watched them on disc and watched all the supplemental features, which I am proud and saddened to say my kid has inherited that love of watching the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, man, yeah.
And sometimes my kid will go, oh, I've seen that. And I go, you've seen Taxi Driver? And then come to find out, no, they've just read about it on Wikipedia, and then somebody did a TikTok where they talked about it. Okay so that's where we are.
Sorry, that's infuriating to me. But
John, you gonna be
okay? I mean, I'm definitely entering my old man yells at cloud phase. I mean, I've been there for a while, let's be honest. But that kind of stuff where it's like the kids today are like, I can just read it. Ooh, you kids today don't know. So the Great Mouse Detective though.
Yeah.
The other thing I want two names I want to mention that you also talk about. This is a real interesting turning point. Are John Musker and Ron Clements, who are two of the directors on this movie, who will come to direct. This is the first movie they direct at Disney, and they will go on to direct things like. Do they direct Little Mermaid? But they definitely direct Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
They did do Little Mermaid. Beauty and the Beast and Hercules and Aladdin and even up to Moana. So these guys become, so you talk about, once again, turning points. Eisner and Katzenberger coming in. These guys come to be two of the major directors. This is definitely, it's interesting, even though this, as we're saying, was a mild success, was, interestingly though, even though Little Mermaid is seen as the real beginning of the 90s Renaissance, a lot of the pieces are put in place on this movie.
Yeah, but what's missing is the genius of the songwriters that.
I mean, Alan Menken and Howard Ashman. Yeah, I mean,
you get Menken and Ashman. That's a big part of it too. It's not just these.
And
yes,
The Great Mouse Detective pointed the way of what was possible, applying 80s feature film pacing and story structure to these things that could meander if they didn't keep a tighter hold on it. So the investors were more than willing to take a look at The Little Mermaid after that.
Because I think one of the things I really like about this movie, and I responded to as a kid, and every time I've watched it again, I've seen it. This movie rips. It really works as an action adventure movie. It's pretty exciting
in a cute kid
way. But I'm saying the actual structured plot of it, it moves pretty well. It goes from set piece to set piece.
Well, one thing that they have that no one's brought up is this is based on a book series. So when you do that, when they adapted fairy tales, which was almost always the Disney thing, that gave them a lot of freedom because they're fairy tales and there's not a
very
definitive text.
Loose,
but sometimes they would adapt books, and you can almost always tell because I think that solves a lot of pacing and plot problems. They've got a story right there they can break down. And I know that for this one, they kind of picked and chose from different parts of the book series. I've never read any of the Basil of
I did when I was a kid, but it's been a long time. The thing I think is interesting about that is reading about the history of this movie was it didn't start with the books for them. Somebody went, we should do Sherlock Holmes with cute animals. And then somebody went, I think there are books that already do that. We could use those. So it's interesting that it was sort of parallel thinking. And then somebody goes, I think that exists. Let's get those and then do that. So it's interesting to because they were trying to do. Hey, this worked with Robin Hood. Why couldn't we do it with Robin Hood? What we did with Robin Hood with Sherlock Holmes. But then Basil of Baker Street is a different thing because the whole concept of the books and this movie as well, which I love. I love the idea that there is just an exact copy of London, basically, but with mice. They have all the same stuff, though. They have a Sherlock Holmes. They have a queen.
I love the idea that
having fought in Afghanistan.
Yeah,
I love the idea that there's a basically mouse doppelganger for every person in the world.
Yeah.
I think that's such a fun concept.
I'm afraid I killed mine in a glue trap when I was in art school.
Big mistake there, Brendan.
I'm so sorry for whatever his name was.
He would have been doing an old time radio show in the in the mouse universe.
But that's what it struck me as. It's like, oh, everyone ends up with the doppelganger, but it's still one of those universes where. And I was counting off the different species. I'm like, all right, they mimic humans down to clothing and world events.
Yeah.
But cats and dogs are still just cats and dogs.
Yes.
But the bats, lizards, mice, rats, I was just like going, okay, so they are human intelligent and wear clothes and they have bars and all this stuff. And all right.
Tiny violins.
But tiny violins. But if you're a cat or a dog or a horse, sorry guys, you just dumb animals.
It's such Disney. It's such Disney logic, right? I mean, this is
the fact that Mickey Mouse has a pet dog, but his friend Goofy is
also a dog. Yeah, it makes no sense.
That's
it's a very loopy. It's whatever they want it to be. It's whatever works for whatever story they're telling,
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah, man. Just let go of the reins. Just let it go.
That's kind of the thing I like about
Just
Disney.
follow. It'll take you where
Well,
you
that's some of the fun of animation in general, right? Obviously, you're so freed from reality in so many ways. And
I think this is a beautiful story about two mice coming together. I was very touched the love story, and it's surprisingly organic. And Disney is always good, and they get your heartstrings
yes,
because you get a cute little girl whose father's taken away from her in the very beginning of the movie. Your heart's breaking, man.
The beginning is quite harrowing. Once again, talk about from the company that gave us the death of Bambi's mom. The beginning of this movie is wow. I mean, really, if you're a little kid,
like
this will mess you up.
It's like a cold, at the risk of going to a Bond corner. It's like a cold open for a Bond movie.
Yeah, well, or a Sherlock Holmes movie, right? I mean, it is a great setting of the mystery.
But here's where they were smart. The little girl is very sad.
Yeah.
She meets the doctor, who I do like the fact that they are duplicates of real humans, but they don't share their names. Like Basil.
All the names come from
Basil Rathbone and
Basil
Dr. Dawson.
Dr.
Right?
David Q. Dawson, yes.
Yeah, but what I like is that, yes, once she has found Basil through Dawson, she becomes, it's not that she's not sad anymore, but she's like anxious to be a part of it.
Yes.
She becomes kind of thrilled and adventurous, and so she's not left to just sit there where you're like going, oh my God, they better find her dad. She becomes like this fiery little presence, and you're like, good on ya. But of course, anytime that she gets reunited, which happens like twice in the movie with her dad, it is of course the big hug. I like the running gag that Basil, of course, cares enough, but he doesn't want to get involved in this at all, except for it ties into his fight with Radigan, and it's like, oh, Radigan's behind it. And the way he never gets her name right for the whole movie is pretty funny.
And all very, once again, he is not literally Sherlock Holmes, but he is Mouse Sherlock Holmes. And that's very Sherlock Holmes.
He doesn't do cocaine as much in this.
Not as much. Not as much. I will say, though,
it's funny, though. He is bipolar, which I thought was a choice.
He is?
Yeah.
He does say he's using, what did he say, 0.07% solution?
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Well, because you got to bring it down for the mouse size, right?
Yeah, you got to adjust.
But I will say, actually, something that would not happen today is him smoking the pipe. They wouldn't let that.
Yeah, he was smoking that pipe.
They wouldn't let that happen today.
No, I mean, there's Radigan was smoking his cigarette, the cigarette holder.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes up on Disney Plus now, there's the little warning about contains depictions of tobacco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't really look at that.
Careful, kids. Careful now.
They also warned that it contains too many of Mancini's faults, not enough of his strengths, which I thought was interesting.
A rare judgment warning from Disney.
Judgment warning.
Yeah, normally it's.
I will say that I didn't find. I mean, the music's okay.
Oh
yeah.
The Price song I love. The Goodbye.
Which
song.
one? Oh, the Goodbye song. Not the
Goodbye. So long.
Yes.
Well, because it's not even the song is whatever, but it's just. We haven't even gotten to the price of it all, but he is.
We haven't.
Oh God.
The voice work across the board is great, and apparently the little girl, that's the only thing she ever did. It's her only IMDb.
Yeah. And what did it? I mean, once again, the thing that also the little Scottish accent is just adorable. Yeah. It's just
they found a little Scottish girl.
They found a little
9
Scottish
years old,
girl.
Apparently.
It's great. Well, this was also still in the time when Disney didn't necessarily go, what big names are we putting in the voice roles? I mean, Price is the only name in this movie, right? I mean, everybody else are just either character actors or longtime voice actors.
Yes.
Right. Even the Fidget the Bat, who I thought, how is that Mel Blanc or something? That is insane. And it turns out it's this guy who, like Blanc, came from the world of radio.
Mm-hmm.
Although he was a musician before that. But he had this gigantic career doing a very low voice. He did it as kind of a joke on the Jimmy Durante radio show.
Wow.
Then they recorded a novelty record with Durante and this guy. And I think his catchphrase was, "I'm so tired or something like
Yeah.
that.
And Disney
And
used
then
him a
he
ton.
recorded Popeye, the classic "I'm Popeye the Sailor Man" recording that would play, with records,
Yes.
in radio stations. That's him.
Okay.
He did.
Yeah, and like I
It
said,
wasn't
and
the
then
guy who did Popeye in the cartoons.
I mean, starting with starting with Peter Pan, he's in like a ton of Disney. I mean, once again, just as various voices.
Yeah.
He clearly was just a guy that Disney, trusted, and then other
yeah,
stuff
I
too.
thought it might be Blank or John Biner, because John Biner, I think, did.
wow.
Black
in that
Ball.
vein, I will say this guy Candy Cadito is which is a great name, and also
Andy Canito.
Candy Cadito, but also amazing IMDb photo that I want to be my IMDb photo, where he has a very old-timey mustache and he's talking to an old NBC radio microphone. And
Perfect.
I love
there
it.
you go.
But yeah, like Barry Ingham is Basil. Who the hell's Barry
Now,
Ingham? A character
Brennan,
actor.
You may remember Barry Ingham as
Do I?
being one of the non-Dalek natives of
Scarrow?
Scarrow
Yeah.
in Doctor Who and the Daleks, the Peter Cushing movie.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
He's like
I
the
don't
leader
remember him at all, but thank
of,
you.
Yeah.
of that
I mean,
group
just
that the Daleks
but
are
let-
trying
You
to
guys
wipe
did
out.
your homework for this episode. I just watched the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even look at it.
well, somebody's got to
I
do
was
some
curious
homework.
to see what happened to the girl, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, well, good. She just bailed that out.
I mean, that was something that Disney. I mean, I think they still do that to some extent, but they used to, like a lot of their movies would have just kids. We did the Sword and the
Well,
Stone.
it's the same as every Charlie Brown animated
Yeah.
special. They weren't. Most of those kids never went on to be like actors, but
Except
they
for, like,
they wanted
Pamela
real kid
Ferdin.
voices. Yeah,
I think Pamela Ferdin is the only.
yeah. Pamela Ferdin.
the
Wasn't she the original Lucy?
I believe so. Yeah.
and she's in an episode of the Brady Bunch. I know distinctly, of course, but
yes.
she's in the new Jan
Pamela
Brady
Ferdin.
when Jan puts on the wig and goes to. Interesting.
All
Her
right,
name is
all right.
Lucy in that. She goes to Lucy Winter's party.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
It's time for your fruit cup, and the nurse is going to tuck you in. Nurse is going to tuck you in. It's been a long day.
You know what?
Pamela Ferdin
Brady
guy.
Corner doesn't
Pamela
come
Ferdin.
up nearly as much as Bond Corner, but I can go.
Ferdin Corner does not come up that much at all, guys.
No.
But like, yeah, and then
Not even in the
We
Ferdin
need to
household.
Give it another minute or two.
Yeah.
but like Val Betton as Dawson here, you know, this guy's just
Everybody's great.
yeah.
Whether or not you
And
know
then
them.
they yanked. Brennan, did you catch they yanked a recording that Basil Rathbone did as Holmes for the Holmes?
Yes.
I thought that was wonderful that they did that.
That was
What
so
a great
good.
tribute.
Where he's
to-
like going, oh yes, it's a program of German music. It's like, oh, it's so boring, and it's like, oh, Basil Rathbone.
Basil Rathbone, so great. But yes,
I love it every time you see the silhouette of Sherlock actually up in his apartment. And it's
Yeah.
like,
it's so
cool.
fun and clever.
And it's not just any dog. It's Holmes's.
It's
yeah,
Toby.
it's Toby. Yeah.
The
Toby.
thing is, the Basil of Baker Street books, which again I haven't read, but I read about them. It's like, you know, Nellie with a taxi driver. But basically,
Good God.
the whole
Just
thing
shaming
is
your
that-
child on the show, but
Yeah,
Not shaming, and eventually I'm sure they'll watch the movie. They should.
I'll
But
say
anyway.
side eyeing. That's what I'll say.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
shaming,
But
yeah, what are you gonna do?
the Basil Baker Street
Kids
books
today.
were written by a Holmes fan, and
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
like veering this towards kids. So all the references. I mean, there's Lestrade type characters, and there's mentions of this or that, and so the dog that he uses is Toby. I'm like, oh man,
that's
just-
some of the fun
great.
of those books and this movie. Yeah, is that that's one of the things about why I included this, right? Even though this is about a cartoon mouse equivalent of Sherlock Holmes, it is so steeped in Holmesian lore. Plus, I just love it. I just also want to talk about it, and it's my show.
I think that's really we've bored down to the reason we're talking.
It's great though. Like, I mean, it's really.
I just
it's,
want to talk about. It's my favorite
and
of all time.
let's talk about Vincent Price.
You didn't let me put "They Might Be Giants" in this list. You didn't let me do that.
Well, but
If
Holmes
we're
isn't.
talking about
Holmes
mice,
Holmes does actually exist in this movie where he does not, and they might be giants. So,
There you go.
I'm gonna punch.
although
somebody.
having
All
said that, I do really like
Well,
that
John,
movie.
Brendan, I get it because I suggested the return of the world's greatest detective.
Yes.
where Larry Hagman is a
Yes.
clumsy motorcycle cop who gets his head bonked by his motorcycle
And is
into
convinced
believing
he's
that he is
Sherlock
We would.
Holmes.
I will
Like
just say we'd be here for a while if we started doing movies where people think they're Sherlock Holmes. There's more of those than you might
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
There's
Anyway,
at least 2.
that's a whole subgenre apparently.
And,
Uh,
and every other episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'd
yeah,
have to
yeah,
do
there's
all the Data pretending to be Sherlock Holmes episodes, of which there are
Oh
a few.
man,
Those
the
are some of my
best.
favorites, though. But I do love those, and that Moriarty rules. But
that dude is amazing.
That Moriarty is so amazing in AI creation that he takes over the Enterprise.
That's how good he is.
that's one of my favorite episodes. Ship in
Yeah,
a bottle.
that actor, who's one of these guys who is from Texas,
Yep.
but does British really
Yeah.
well.
Yes,
Wow.
he's a
Like John Hillerman.
John Hillerman. I was just gonna say, yeah, he's a Higgins. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a Higgins.
Yep.
He played obviously the butler on The Nanny, but
Yep.
if you guys ever watch The Prestige, it is a plethora of
plethora?
actors who are either British and have been on sitcoms, or guys who played British people on sitcoms. It's the supporting cast is all like
He is
Roger
a-
Rees. And,
He is a guy that I was. Roger Reed's great. Yeah, he was. I was shocked when I saw that guy in real life, though, and he was not British. The Moriarty guy. I was like,
It
wait,
happens.
what?
Yeah.
Because
You're
I
gonna
grew up
be
with the nanny
okay.
and him on Star Trek. But
Yeah.
yes, speaking of our
and he showed
Moriarty,
up in,
Speaking
a
of the
car-
nanny,
yeah.
because welcome back to Nanny Cast.
Yeah, actually,
um,
you know what's interesting is frequent IP Squad contributors Elliot Lewis and Olivia Gray have been wanting to do a nanny rewatch podcast.
Oh my god.
So that may actually happen at some point. They keep telling
All
me
right,
that they have to do a
John,
nanny.
You need to do my star-studded ensemble comedies podcast, and we start with "It's a Mad, 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 Mad
Oh,
World,"
jeez.
and then we go to "The Russians Are Coming." The Russians. Are
Wow,
coming.
then the
And
Russians are
then
coming.
we go to "Who's Minding the Mint," and
Ugh.
then "Murder by Death." Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's gonna.
I'm
be
not saying that's actually happening. They just keep saying
What
they
about
want to do
those
that.
jaunty men and those?
What's it,
No,
Magnificent
that's
Men and their
bullshit.
flying
No,
machines?
That movie is bullshit. I will never, ever, ever.
What about the Great
Ever.
Race?
Oh, that's got Jack
Bullshit.
Lemmon. He won't
That
touch
movie
it.
is bullshit.
He won't touch it if lemon's in it.
It's got Jack Lemmon.
You mean
Anyway,
the Great?
That guy.
let's talk about another great guy, Vincent Price.
Yeah, he's very good.
He plays Radigan in this, who
He's
is
having the time of his life.
it's so,
He sounds like it.
this is
Yeah.
not a like sure whatever I'll do a cartoon voice. He is all in here, and he's
Yeah, this isn't the
older,
13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo.
No,
this is
no.
him where he's
and he's older at this point, of course, because this is the 80s. He's in his 70s at this
Yeah.
point. But man, that the energy they are able to get out of him in this, he
Oh,
is
yeah.
so fun and evil, and he is so
When he
I mean,
says,
this is thriller era him.
very this is that
when
renaissance
he
of
says,
he's
I
spooky
just
guy.
love being nasty.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
laughing for 20 minutes
Because
after he
he's
says that.
well, and he's perfect for this because he's able to be creepy, but in a fun way, which is perfect for the
Yeah.
Disney villain that needs to have enough
Yeah.
threat, but also you can laugh at.
Yeah.
And yes, when he does get to do his little patter song,
But the reason that
It's so
John
much
is not allowed to do children's theater anymore is that he's creepy, but not in a fun way.
no, just legitimate
that was,
creepy.
That was what came out eventually. His
They kept
parents-
using the term "struck fear" into the hearts of
That he's
audiences. I don't.
they said John's creepy in a viscous way.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah, kids
Like,
kids are
you ever
leaving in
seen
tears.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and the Child
Yeah.
Stealer.
Yeah.
He's basically the
On
Child
that
Stealer.
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney doesn't
But,
need that. They said.
That's what they told him.
Yeah, that's what they told.
We could do without. But yeah.
Oh my god! My favorite bit in this whole movie, and I realized this when I was watching it again. Everything that has to do with, I've come up with a myriad ways of destroying you, and so I just decided to do all of them.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
camera pulls
Yeah,
back real
it's
fast.
great. It's great.
And then Basil's bipolar depression that he's having
Yes.
until finally he gets a clue of like how he can nail everything at once.
Yes.
Oh my god,
Did-
just perfect.
uh,
Talk about pacing. That
Robin,
thing-
I think you will
Great.
appreciate this. Did you happen to hear how they came to cast Vincent Price in this movie? because it involves a movie you like a great deal, which is
yes.
they
yes.
were they looked at
they were looking to Ronald Colman to
Yep.
base Basil's look on.
yes
Oh,
And they're watching a bunch of different Ronald Colman movies, and they watched Champagne for Caesar.
yes
And guys, if you take away one thing
Yeah.
from this podcast, I'm not talking about just this episode of the IP Squad.
no,
about Sherlock Holmes.
all podcasts.
I'm talking about all of the episodes that you've ever heard my nasal whine in. I promise you, the message is clear. You should be watching Champagne for Caesar. It fucking rocks.
Okay.
It is great, and there's more great, and then another layer of great. It is a movie I will die on that hill. Great movie.
But I love
Please don't die on a hill. Robert.
I love the story though that they were like,
something.
Price might be right for Radigan in this, and they asked him to come in and audition, and his quote is, "If anybody but Disney had asked me, I would have been offended. But for Disney, okay, I'll lay down a scratch track."
You watch, you can see both on the disc and then also on YouTube. There were interviews from the time where he did interviews, and he starts chuckling about the part, and it's obvious how much he loved doing it. And I think
I love it.
they probably paid him more than Michael Jackson did for Thriller, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been very good to me, the great mouse detective. Yes.
Yeah. I hope they treated him with great respect. I'm sure they did.
They did.
You do hear his joy at being. It is with Vincent Price. You're always going to get something great, but it's sort of telling him where you want the dial.
Yeah.
And I think they're like going, this is for kids.
Yeah.
You are the
it's
ultimate
animated
villain.
Yeah.
You love being a villain.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just turn that dial all the way up. And he goes, no problem.
Yeah.
And it just...
This dial goes to 11, so...
yeah. And also extremely fey. Perhaps the most fey he's ever been.
Yeah.
One might argue.
Yeah.
One might argue. But it is fun to listen to. And I've always loved... Again, I go back to the art. The art is just so good.
Wonderful.
The cartoonists back then, amazing. Yeah. I love the design of Radigan. I mean, the
Yeah.
books had illustration, I think, but they kind of went,
I will say,
fine.
looking
Disney's
at
gonna take over.
Looking at the book illustrations, they look more like mice. I mean, the Disney
exactly.
definitely characterized them and cartoonized them quite a bit more.
Yeah. I enjoyed it so much that I did go on line after watching it and tried to find, has anyone done an official Radigan action figure, and they have not.
There's a Funko Pop, but they've never done. I will say this is one of those movies that, like we talked about, did okay at the time, kind of got forgotten, and then kind of got rediscovered. I hear more people talking about it now in some ways, where it's like, what's really great is. Great. Same thing with Black Cauldron, and Black Cauldron even got a theatrical re-release at a certain point because people were like, "Hey, that's actually really good."
One thing you don't hear a lot of people going is, "Watcher in the Woods is really overlooked. Let's put Watcher in the Woods back."
Yeah, I do think it's an interesting.
What's amazing is the computer wore tennis shoes.
Well, because I do think
take a look at this.
my strongest man.
My generation.
It's number one in a series. There's also now you see him, now you don't.
I think
Merlin Jones.
The thing about my generation.
That was not Merlin Jones. That was the Kurt Russell guy. Merlin Jones was the Tommy Kirk guy.
Yeah,
Brennan.
Tommy Kirk. Sorry.
The thing I was saying about this, though, I think also the 70s, 80s, the stuff that came out on VHS. My generation saw all this stuff without thinking about, was this successful? It was just like, what's this? And so, like I said, in my mind, it was like Black Cauldron. Great Mouse Detective. These are just classics. What do you mean these are forgotten ones?
Well, also, I mean, that is similar to what we experienced
with
as
TV.
Well.
Yeah,
the brand of Disney, and they also re-released their movies every few years. They would have them in cycle.
They used
so you would go to the theater, and I never once thought, "Oh, this is a movie from the 50s or 60s. Why do I want to watch it?"
Right.
It was Disney. You just went to Disney, and your parents would load you up. However, Robin, do you remember the tragedy that was Robin Hood?
We went to the drive-in.
Yep. And it burned through.
Oh no.
just as it was
Yeah.
starting.
Oh
I did
no.
not see, and then I went in to get my tonsils out. I was in the hospital, and Mom and Dad bought me like a coloring book that was Robin Hood and all that. But I did not see Disney's Robin Hood until I was 31.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, whoop, I missed my chance.
And it awakened something
then
in
I
you,
saw it.
Brendan?
but
We had the
Sean,
soundtrack.
you know,
We had
we had the soundtrack,
Yeah.
and it was one of those children's Disney soundtracks where there was kind of narration and
Yeah.
stuff, and
Well, we
and you got the great Roger Miller songs. Not
Yeah.
Nottingham, one of the great songs.
I mean,
one of the great songs.
Robin Hood. I love Great
Makes
Mustache.
me
I love
cry.
Robin Hood
Love
as
that
well. I
song.
those were two I watched a lot. The interesting thing, we talked about this last season. I did the King Arthur season before this, where we did Sword in the Stone. And the interesting thing about that was at that time they were thinking about, do we even need to keep making movies? Because we can just keep re-releasing these forever. We could just stop making these and keep going with these
Oh, man,
forever.
what a
And that was
terrible
also
idea.
horrible idea. And of course would have been short-sighted eventually.
Was that, hey John?
Yeah.
That wasn't Walt's idea. That was Roy's idea.
That was this was after
Roy.
this was Sword in the Stone was
Roy.
I think Sword in the Stone
Roy.
was one of the first ones after Walt died that they were like he had no one and I think that was also
Yeah.
one of the first ones to use the previously mentioned photocopying process, or at least a more efficient version of it.
It was they came up with it as a cost cutting measure, and then they were able to Brennan's point, kind of lean into the roughness of that process by
If anyone
trying different
and anyone who
styles that
who
would
listened to that episode
be
will know
appropriate.
that movie kind of doesn't hold. Sword in the Stone is not great.
I've never really liked it too much,
it's
a shame because it's Disney doing the Arthur.
I know it
legend,
should
but
be great, and I had remembered it being great.
The wizard fight is good.
There's some good stuff
but
in
it's
it.
The best thing about
But
really.
it drags like nobody's business. Unlike this movie, it's
exactly.
really
And Sword in the Stone is an hour long, and it feels like it's
yeah, they're the
3
same
hours.
length, but this thing cooks. I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
what else I want to talk about. Well,
well, we should talk about
We
how
should-
it relates to Sherlock Holmes.
we
is the
should.
whole thing we're doing.
Well, I want to talk about the because this will lead me to equal,
Really?
similar to Sherlock Holmes. Basil is a master of disguise, and the drunken can club that they go to. I'm not sure this is getting through in 2025 or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that scene.
Yeah, when
Look,
Look, I'm not a furry or anything, but
well, I was just gonna
I
say
really like that scene.
that was my joke earlier. Did that Robin Hood movie when you saw it 31? You're like, this is doing something for me.
that's it right there.
'Cause-
Brendan, did it push some buttons for you?
Because the
Maid Marian is hot.
the people who there's a whole, as no surprise to anyone, there's a whole Robin Hood thing. People in that movie.
Yes.
There's a
Okay.
whole
Yes.
thing where it is like, look, I'm not normally, but that fox, oh baby.
Man, I'm not that way, but Little John.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really doing it
I'm
for
not
me.
that way, but oof, Sir Hiss. Wow.
Little
Yamaha.
John running through the forest.
But one of the things I like is, once again, with this being the mice version of the Sherlock Holmes world, is it is still like a seedy, foggy streets of London town movie.
Yeah. They
Uh.
give you all the same atmosphere that you'd get. So
Right.
he is tracking the Moriarty character Radigan to his lair, which turns out it's pretty great, is in a wine cask
Yep.
somewhere on
yeah.
the docks. And he
Yeah.
comes about that through goofy detective work, but it is mimicking, Sherlock Holmes detective work. Where it's like, yes, the note is written on this type of paper and it's this weight, and it tastes of sea salt. Yes, so it's all that kind of stuff. He's still
Really-
doing Sherlock Holmes.
Really good, once again, this is a kid's movie. Really good detective work that's not dumbed down, but is made simple and easy to follow for kids. It's still it still makes sense, but yeah, it's all very easy to follow clues.
Also, he's doing experiments in his apartment, just like Sherlock does.
Yep.
Including, you've got
Ballistics experiments.
the contraption with the shoes making shoe prints.
Yep.
And it's just this spindle, and it just keeps going around, and the paper's getting shoved off, so it's making shoe prints. And similar to which movie was it? Because at this point we've seen a lot.
Yeah.
But one of them where there's multiple cigarettes and pipes being bellows that's smoking them
Yeah.
down because he's measuring the ash. I mean, he doesn't explicitly say that, but I'm
Right.
sitting there looking
Which
at
one was
Great
that?
Mouse-
That was one of them.
Yeah, that was one of
Robin,
them.
do you remember what that
And-
was?
Yeah, I think it was one of the lighter ones.
Was it-
I want to
Was
say
it
Sherlock
Private
Holmes'
Life?
Smarter Brother, or
Oh, Smarter Brother, maybe.
Oh, maybe it was.
But the whole thing is that
Private Life.
It might have
they
been
all,
Private
I mean,
Life.
they're kind of like, it is Easter eggy because the whole idea of Watson or Dawson in this case getting drunk and dancing with the dancing girls is
Yeah.
Private Life. And I'm
Private
like,
Life,
oh,
yeah.
hey.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
the fun
Yeah.
of
By the way, that for such a seedy pub, they were able to afford Melissa Manchester of all people.
I
That's
know.
amazing.
Couldn't believe
The-
that.
Melissa Mousechester.
yeah,
Oh,
the thing that's of course fun about it both being a cartoon and yes a pastiche is that you do get to take a little bit from there, a little bit over there, a little bit of all of
Yeah.
our favorite Sherlock things and put them in here. I mean, clearly, like I said, the Easter eggs, clearly there were a lot of people on the crew who were fans of Holmes stuff, and it's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff I'm sure I didn't even catch that people can, notice. That's
Angry listeners will inform.
oh,
us.
they'll be enraged. How dare you? How dare you? Look, I host a
Did you guys like
I host
how
a Star Wars
quickly,
podcast, so I know
Mouse,
about this.
Dawson recovered from being drugged.
Oh
Like
yeah,
literally within one.
it's that
one
fat.
scene
It's that
Yeah.
mouse
and a
metabolism.
smack around from
Robin.
Holmes.
Yeah,
And,
that's what it is.
that's
It's-
all it takes.
Yeah, it's really just it's
Yeah.
quick there.
Mhm.
We should talk about what Radigan's
Dawson, wake up! what have I
Radigan's
done?
Radigan's plan here because he's kidnapped
It's very
Flaversham.
sci-fi.
He's kidnapped Flaversham, who is a toy maker, right?
Yes.
And yeah, this is all part of a big plan to steal.
Basically, give
Yeah,
him
giant-
the powers of the
Yeah,
crown
yeah.
Yeah.
by replacing Queen Victoria or whoever the name of the Mouse Queen is.
Yeah.
Do they ever say? Or is
I
she
think it-
Victoria?
I
I think they
she-
said Queen Victoria Mouse.
Yeah, I believe she
Okay.
is. Yeah,
But replace her with a robot duplicate,
Yeah.
which can be operated off stage, including,
Yeah.
I thought this is cool, basically a voice trumpet thing that whoever's talking, it comes out through the robot sounding like Queen Victoria. That's pretty
Yes.
great. And yeah, the whole thing is that and he has his own men disguised as Royal Guard. And the whole thing is her robot saying like, oh, it's my jubilee, it's so wonderful, and here's the thing, I'm turning over all of the command stuff to my most trusted consort, and blah, 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 and that's Radigan, and
Yep.
he's all in fancy clothes.
there
So-
he is.
Until the robot starts saying things like, no, he's a fraud and a hoax, and he's like, what? Ah! And of course, Basil has shown up and has grabbed the controls
It
of the
feels
robot.
it feels a little Batman Returns, right, when he takes over the Penguins.
Sure.
Yeah.
Play this
I-
city like a
We
hop
played,
from hell.
yeah, played London like a harp from hell.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
I've seen
Yeah,
that.
I
I've
like,
seen that movie perhaps too many times. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. It's okay.
I liked
Yeah.
they got Alan Young to come in and do his Scottish thing again, which was nice. He was their go-to for Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, it's very.
So is he
he's Flaversham. Yeah.
Okay.
He was
It
Flaversham,
definitely
yeah.
has some of that same cadence to it.
Right. Yeah, it's a kinder Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah,
A kinder Scrooge McDuck.
and you get a lot
That's
of.
what I've
I
always
want
tried to
that.
be.
He's an amazing.
Money.
He's an amazing
I don't
toy
appreciate
maker too,
that.
because when we
Oh,
see
he's
the
an
way
amazing
some
toy
stuff-
maker. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
For
he-
1897, he's doing some crazy
he's doing
stuff.
he's doing
Yeah.
some real cutting edge stuff, man. That
Yeah,
Flaversham,
yeah.
I mean, there's a reason Radigan goes after him. But also, hey, don't you
Yeah.
call Radigan? His name may be Radigan, but don't you call him a rat?
Yeah, he doesn't want to be
He
known as
is
a rat.
not.
They're like, no, you're
John
just a very
Vincent-
big mouse.
Yeah.
Vincent found that the most delightful of all about the character.
He doesn't even like being a rat. He pretends he's not one.
He hates being a rat. He
Yeah.
wants to be a mouse, just
Yeah.
a really big mouse.
Even though his name is Ratigan, but he
It's
wants
there
you
in
to.
the name.
Yeah, it's
That's
right
the
there.
joke.
That's what's amazing.
That's the
See,
joke.
that's the thing. He's going on like the Tonight Show, going, "See, that's
It's
the thing,
wordplay,
Johnny."
John.
Yeah, Johnny, it's
Work
very
with
funny.
me here.
Yeah,
Listen, Merv.
Yeah.
It's wordplay on the name.
Now I'm going to show you how to make. Now I'll show you how to make salmon in your dishwasher.
Now we're going to make some salmon in your dishwasher.
It's just as good.
And we're going to watch.
Vincent, you did that like 15 years ago on a different show. Oh.
Well, is it not still amazing, Merv?
Well,
It's so-
Johnny, it's Merv. Well, Johnny.
Yeah. Whatever, Johnny. It's great to be back in Burbank.
Darkness falls across the land. Okay, no, stop it.
Look, I can always pull that out. The kids love it. Anyway.
I just know what the kids like.
Yeah, this was always going to
Rat Ray, of
descend.
course,
This was please. This was always going to descend into this.
I have to distance myself from MJ.
Yeah. Now
Anyway.
I do want to talk about the
God.
title of this movie, which is The Great Mouse Detective.
Yes.
The movie was made, produced, everything under the name Basil of Baker Street.
Why not?
But however, due to the box office underperformance of previous film Young Sherlock Holmes, Michael Eisner decided, let's back off from the Holmes shit.
Wow.
And so they changed it to The Great Mouse Detective, and everyone go ahead and consult the visual image that is the original theatrical poster. You will note Basil is not dressed in the deerstalker and cloak on the poster. They actually changed the poster design to move away from the Sherlock Holmes imagery because they were afraid that young Sherlock Holmes, which, by the way, was, I think we talked about that on that episode, underperformed, but wasn't a bomb or anything.
No,
but they got scared. I
but
mean, this is
Eisner-
classic,
yeah.
big studio, like, oh, shit, I guess people hate Sherlock Holmes.
Right.
So
Yeah,
we better
typical.
hide and fool them. And the
John, did you read what one of the animators wrote, like the mocking memo
No, I didn't
that
read that.
he released,
No.
where he said, well, yeah, in fact, we're going to change all of the titles of our Disney films. Now it's going to be One Lucky Lady and Seven Short Guys. He went down the
Well,
Two
because
Dogs in Love.
Because as we talk, Eisner and Katzenberg inherited this movie. This movie started out under the previous regime, and they inherited it. So I think they were like, "Oh shit, we're stuck with this lousy old timey detective movie. Oh god, this is not what we want to be doing." I mean, I highly recommend if people haven't seen the documentary "Waking Sleeping Beauty," which is all about Disney in the '80s and sort of this like weird time when they are trying to figure out what they are. Really great documentary that gets into this movie and Black Cauldron and Fox and the Hound as well. You also get awkward
they
young
were
Tim Burton
very
in it.
Close to just shuttering Disney for the most part and making it Touchstone.
Yep.
Because Touchstone was doing better than anything Disney was coming out with.
It's just such an interesting. And there have been a few of these because the 2000s was similar for them as well. They've gone through a few periods where they're like, "Ooh, we're just not clicking, and we don't quite know what we're doing."
That's every movie studio ever.
Yeah, it's just that people have this image of them as just like hit after hit after hit, and then there's a couple of I think because they have a thing, it's easier to identify than other movie studios, but because people can look at the annual animated Disney movie as a real barometer for like how are they doing. And obviously now we're back in, mega money for them. It's ridiculous how much money.
They're doing
to a
okay.
degree.
Yeah.
I mean, for every Inside Out 2 or live action Lilo and Stitch, they've got Elio or something that doesn't
Yeah, but I mean,
catch at all.
The thing now that they've definitely upped the quantity, right? So there is sort of a thing where in 1 year they can have something not do well, but then if you put out Moana 2, you make $1 billion like guaranteed,
Right,
and we're good to go. So yeah, they are sort of obfuscating their failures. Although Elio was not bad, it was all right.
I'll take your word for it. Didn't see it.
It's all right. Yeah. I mean, I think most of them are.
The kids who came to our theater seemed to enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's
because there were brightly lit colors and noises.
Yes.
Yay!
I can confirm it has those things. I saw it. It has those things. Anyway, yeah.
We love it.
Well, and now, of course, they have the thing, too, about they can release a Pixar and a Disney. My issue, to your point, Brendan, about the animated thing is people don't know which one is which because they're both computer generated now. So people go like, wasn't that...
Right.
I've heard people be like, Encanto, great Pixar movie. Like, no, that was just Disney. That wasn't actually Pixar.
It is hard to pick which is understand. Which is which.
I mean, it's really one of those things where when Disney bought Pixar, it's like Pixar kind of took over Disney, really, if you look at it. Like,
Well, that was the early 2000s, and they were realizing their 2D animation just wasn't clicking anymore. That's when they gave John Lasseter. He was put in charge of Disney Animation,
and he was giving out all the hugs he wanted.
yeah, it was
Oh,
great. He was
boy.
such a friendly guy.
So
Yeah.
Any
How about a
lady-
shoulder rub?
What's
Sounds
wrong with a
great.
hug? That was what he said. What is your problem with the hugs? Come on.
What is a problem?
Get over here,
What is your
Rashida
problem with the
Jones.
hugs?
No, don't quit Toy Story because I'm being creepy. Anyway.
Really? Is
oh,
she
yeah.
was in Toy Story?
She wrote a 3 or 4, one of those. She was a writer on and left the project due to his. She was pretty clear about due to his. He was creepy.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Oh,
he wasn't assaultive, but he was creepy. Like it's one of those things where it's like it's bad.
Brendan, he would back women into a corner and make them say they liked Cars too.
It was
It
good,
was
right?
so-
It's better than people say, right?
So offensive.
What a monster!
You love that Michael Caine James Bond car. You loved it, right?
It's-
Oh my god, it's such a bad movie.
It's great, right? You would buy the toy.
All right, I'll
if you
say
were
I
five.
like it, but I'm not gonna say that about planes.
How dare you? Planes change the game. They fly now.
It's flying there.
Let us talk about how this
with
movie
the faces.
with the faces. Let's talk about how this
What
movie
with the
did do at the box office. I should mention received pretty well critically. Looking at the reviews here,
Yeah,
both
yeah.
Siskel and
As well,
Ebert,
it should have been.
both Siskel and Ebert, big fans, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Ebert writing, "What fun is the carefree way the animators swing through their story, using the freedom of the cartoon form to blend 19th century realism with images that seem borrowed from more recent special effects pictures." He's really praising, like, I love the mix of the old school and the new school. And
There you go.
agreed, because I do think the clockwork scene at the end is a legitimately great action set piece.
It is. I was really
Yeah.
worried the little girl was gonna get mashed.
Well, and they do. I mean, you know what I love is the classic Disney villain death is always a fall from a height because,
Yeah.
you know, it says death, but you don't have to see anything violent.
Right.
Right.
Because a number of their villains go out this way.
It's like a G.I. Joe episode
Yeah.
without the parachute.
But it's great. It's
G.I. Joe.
yeah.
They have
Real
laser weapons
American
that
hero.
never hit anybody.
I've
ever.
talked about. I love
it's
the.
like the Superman slaughter of the Luthergans,
Yeah.
except they don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's the A-Team thing where the car flips over and you just have the voiceover go, "You okay? Yeah, I'm
every
okay, Bob.
episode.
I'm all right. Yeah, it's fine."
Right. They get out. They're just like,
This
Well, that was
movie
a close one.
Yeah, this movie on a budget of $14 million, it made
a lot of
50. That's pretty good.
No, that's
yeah, there
good.
you go.
Yeah, that's all
I'll
right.
take it.
That's all right. Where do you think that landed it in the top 200 movies of
Grossing
1986? Yeah, of 1986. Where was the Great Mouse Detective? I will give you the top 5 because this should bring back some memories.
Yeah, I remember '86.
You what? You remember what the number 1 movie of 1986 was? Because your brother doesn't like it.
I'm gonna say Superman 4: Quest for Peace. No, I'm gonna say
Yeah, that was the number 1 movie of the year. That was a dark year at the cinema.
No, I remember '86 because that's when I was working for an art house.
Oh,
and
you probably
it was
didn't
one
have
of-
this
to
movie
me,
then.
one of the most transformative years of filmmaking. Was Star Trek 4
Yes.
The Voyage Home up there?
That was number 5. I'm assuming your art house didn't program the number 1 movie of the year, which was Top Gun.
Oh.
Oh, that bullshit. Yeah, no, they didn't do it.
Top Gun.
That was-
Come
Highway
on.
to the danger zone.
Everybody loved it. Come on, you guys.
Fuck
It's
that
a
movie.
blast. That movie's so fun.
I mean, people liked it,
yeah.
and also some people didn't.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, when the sequel came out,
Mm-hmm.
and people like these dads, like a lot of these dads would just come up
And
to me
John.
with, thank you for showing this. This takes me back. This is what films are all about. Movies you could take your kids to, and I'm like, okay, I'm glad we have your money, because it was the same, like beat for beat, it was the same thing, and I didn't like it much the first time. Or
See,
the second time when it
unfortunately,
was
John,
called
the
Days of
Jones
Thunder.
brothers are united in this. We
I
don't
think
like it.
I think Top Gun is great, and I think Maverick is one of the best movies of the last 20 years.
There you go.
I think
See,
Top Gun
yeah.
Maverick is an outstanding piece of filmmaking.
I'm gonna
John,
tell you, Top Gun
I
Maverick,
before we
it
go any
doesn't have enough
further,
cocaine in it, John.
hold on, John. I just want to let you know
Yeah.
this is just me helping you out.
Yeah.
Behind you, 2 of the candles in your Tom Cruise shrine have gone out. You may want to relight those.
Yeah.
How else will you show your devotion?
There's not candle. Those are few. I light the fuse for him every day. You know this.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus God.
oh God, John.
No, he's a worshiper.
I
But
know, I know.
it's okay.
I was not
Yeah.
alone.
To each their
Top
own.
Gun Maverick was huge.
I kept thinking Iceman was going to take Maverick out at some point. That's why I had my fingers crossed about that.
Number 2, I will say, a real snapshot of 1986, Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, jeez.
One of the
What
best
if-
films ever.
What if an Australian man was in America? Could you imagine the antics he'd get into? He wouldn't understand anything.
It's so
John-
crazy.
John, I'm going to tell you something. Crocodile D is not a movie.
Crocodile D.
Mad Max is a movie.
Yeah, now that's a movie.
That's a movie.
Number 3 was that year's Best Picture winner, Platoon.
Yeah.
Interesting. I always
yeah.
love going back to some of these older years where you're like, Platoon's not making the top 5 today. Nobody's going to go see a very realistic and
It was
disturbing
a
war
different
picture.
time.
Yeah. Karate Kid Part 2 was 4. That's, of course, where he goes
really?
to
No.
Japan.
Number 4?
Was number 4, and then, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home was number 5.
There we go. That should have been much higher, but whatever.
Well, Star
you
Trek
do.
4, The Voyage
Yeah,
Home is
We
fantastic.
failed as a movie-going species. I can name a bajillion better movies that came out that same year. That
Well, I will say, I'm surprised.
Wither, Blue Velvet, Wither, Sid and Nancy, Wither.
Well,
Well,
he
those
is
are
talking
Glory,
box office,
Wither.
Robin.
Those
It's
aren't-
not about quality of film.
Yeah,
It's
but I
about
will
how much
say-
money they made.
Wild. What about Something Wild? You know,
Something wild. Yeah, sure.
I will say my favorite probably of the top 10 would
she's
be
got to have it that year.
James
Oh,
Cameron's
yeah.
Aliens, though. If you want to talk about a populist blockbuster that I think is actually extremely
Aliens,
well
amazing.
done.
Came out then.
Aliens.
The Fly came out then.
Oh.
Yeah. But where, gentlemen, where was The Great Mouse Detective in the top 200? Where do you think that thing was?
I'm gonna say 19 or 20.
19 or 20, Brendan?
Weirdly, I was going to say the same thing.
Oh, they wish. 38th.
38th.
38th. Just below Wildcats, the Goldie Hawn is it basketball or football?
Oh,
Football.
Jesus, where she's
Football.
the coach?
with
Football
young
coach,
Woody
okay.
Harrelson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't she
yeah,
also do a
that's-
basketball one? I think she might have
No.
also. Oh, maybe that's
No.
somebody else.
You're thinking of Coach, which was Kathy Lee Crosby.
Oh, maybe I am. Am I thinking of
Jesus
that?
Christ,
I don't know if
Brendan,
I'm
I
thinking
didn't
of
even
that.
remember that.
No, there's only a few movies where an attractive blonde woman becomes like a coach of a team
As
of rowdy young boys.
as much as I love going back to like the 80s and stuff like that for nostalgia,
John,
it is.
I was gonna say you're thinking of the Kate Hudson TV show that Ike Barinholtz
Oh!
co-created on
yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Where she's
yeah.
the head of a professional basketball
Yeah,
team.
yeah. I haven't that one. I haven't seen.
I don't know.
No. Wait a minute now. Oh, you know what I'm. This
What are you
is
thinking of?
This is very strange that I'm thinking of this. I'm thinking of the
It
movie Protocol only because she's holding a basketball on the poster.
Oh, because she's
Oh,
funky.
Goldie Hawn
Right,
holding a
right.
basketball.
That's what
Gotcha.
I
She's
remembered
funky
this
people.
poster. Is what I'm remembering now. I'm realizing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Anyway,
The
sorry.
Wildcats, it was the football, and then they did a Super Bowl shuffle
Yeah.
parody about
You know-
that.
Oh.
You know
team.
what's weird about
And
Wildcats?
Goldie was the lead on that.
What's
Well, like a
weird
music
about
video.
Wildcats, though, is it was the first pairing of Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson.
Here's
Yes.
something else I want to talk about. The fact that no one has talked this much about Wildcats or Coach.
Yeah. Well, no, for sure, Coach. I
that no one
guarantee
ever
you,
has.
no one's ever spoken about Coach, actually. But I would say just below Wildcats and just above Heartburn, the Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Good movie.
Wow.
Mike Nichols
Yeah.
film.
Best scene in it is Nicholson doing full out the soliloquy from Carousel when he's excited about Meryl Streep having his kid.
It's good stuff.
Like he does. My boy Bill will be strong and as big as a tree, and she's just kind of rolling her eyes. She's happy, but at the same time, he's being a lunatic.
Yeah.
And then Nichols cuts like 5 minutes later. Jack Nicholson bursts out of the bathroom and goes, "But what if it's a boy?"
Jesus.
Hot
He
take,
rolls around
Nicholson.
his
Very
finger
good.
and turns away from her.
Very good.
Because it's the second
My
part of the
favorite
soliloquy.
scene in it is where Nicholson pees all over Meryl Streep's feet.
Oh, you're
oh,
confusing
wait.
that. You might be confusing that with other work with him and Nichols.
Oh,
Wolf.
You're talking
Yeah,
about one of
it's from
well,
Wolf.
when you're talking about
Sorry,
when you're
sorry.
when you're talking about one of the
Brendan.
great horror directors like Mike Nichols.
Yeah, one of the
Mike
great
Nichols.
horror film directors.
Oh my God.
we
Who
talked
knew?
about Wolf Wolver and Campbell and
Not Mike
Jones Meet the
Nichols, I'll tell you
Monster.
that.
Well, we talked about that movie is very good until Mike Nichols has to do an action sequence and there's like a
There's
gun
a lot
to his
good
head.
in it.
There's a lot
and
of-
some excellent performances, but yeah.
It's a really good take on werewolfism, but then it's like there's this studio obligated action set piece.
John, I think you mean werewolfery.
Werewolfery, yeah.
Werewolfism.
Werewolfery, yeah. Which one was that? Was that Werewolf of London that had werewolfery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I
Yeah.
couldn't. I was like, Jesus, they really.
They
are
actually
gonna use
said
that.
werewolfery
They're actually
in
gonna say
Werewolf of
werewolfery.
London. Henry Hull was experiencing
Oh, wow.
werewolfery. Let's finish up with
woo,
some highs and lows.
Werewolf of London.
Let's finish up with some highs and lows here.
Highs and lows.
All right.
Highs and lows. Highs and
It
lows.
comes to us from Boba Fett 1138. It's the Fett Man. He wrote this on Mandalore, folks.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Who titles the review "A Forgotten Disney Masterpiece"?
John, is this a chapter from his book? The Book of Boba Fett?
This is from the
Yes.
Book of Boba Fett. Yeah. Chapter 7, The Great Mouse Detective. A Forgotten Disney Masterpiece. This is probably one of the most unknown Disney classics. For the time, the movie was quite new and revolutionary and doesn't quite fit in with the other movies Disney made in that period. Perhaps that's why it has been forgotten. But The Great Mouse Detective deserves to be known and seen. The characters are real classics and one of the best to have ever appeared in a Disney movie. Actually, Professor Ratigan, voiced by the legendary Vincent Price, is quite possibly my favorite movie villain of all time. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no
Wait,
wonder
what?
that it was Vincent Price's favorite role. Did he ever say it was his favorite role anywhere? I think he really
No.
enjoyed it. I don't believe he ever
Yeah.
said it was his favorite one. Anyway,
No.
his style and humor is priceless.
Oh, Jesus.
And it cracks
Hey,
me
wait,
up.
what?
Yeah, it cracks me up every time. But the other characters are also very memorable. I especially like the character of Dr. Dawson. The story is good and very pleasant and very mature compared to other Disney films from that period. But of course, the idea of making a story about the mouse version of Sherlock Holmes alone is already good enough to make a fun movie about. One of the other things that makes this movie different compared to other Disney films from the period are the songs, or better said, the lack thereof. The movie featured only one song, 3 if you count the bar song and the Goodbye So Soon song,
Yeah.
which I do.
Uh-huh.
Those are songs.
Those are songs.
Yeah,
songs in
but
the
it's not a
movie.
miss. The surprising, magnificent musical score by famous composer Henry Mancini makes up for this loss. The movie is a very spectacular finale on and in the famous Big Ben. It's by far my favorite Disney movie ending. Certainly a fun movie to watch over and over again. 10 out of 10 stars.
Jeez
I
Christ.
respect Boba Fett 1138
Yeah.
as a bounty hunter.
Yeah, his
Sure.
bounty hunting is
Less
well
so
known.
as a film critic.
Yeah.
I like this movie a lot. I really do.
Yeah.
I would never go as far as say I love this movie, but I like it, and it's certainly overlooked. It's fun and delightful and should be enjoyed. But man, 10 out of 10 stars. Best film villain ever.
That's
This
a
person
little.
needs to,
Yeah, they have yet to
Yeah.
meet
My
a
question
Darth
to both
Vader
that is,
or a Hans
how many
Gruber.
movies have you seen?
Yeah.
yeah.
How many movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Hannibal
You
Lecter,
seen
the late great Hannibal
five?
Lecter.
Then oddly enough, he goes, "I've never seen those Star Wars films."
I
Where
just-
did the name come from?
It just
Where
sounded
did it
fun.
come
Boba
from?
Fett. Yeah. Anyway,
I would
Boba
steer
Tea.
him
Yeah.
to.
I
I would steer him to Dark Man and a certain Robert G. Durant.
okay, that's an interesting pick
Or-
for the best
or
ever.
the developer dude, because those guys are.
Those guys,
Great.
they're a riot.
Mainstream villain.
They're a riot.
Hans Gruber. He's a good one.
Hans Gruber
He's
is
a good one.
is usually my
Yeah.
go-to pick. Darth Vader feels like
Auric
a cheat.
Goldfinger.
But Goldfinger. Well, Dracula's an interesting one because,
Red
like,
Grant.
Counts.
what are you talking about there when you're talking about Dracula, right? Those are tough to say.
What you
Sometimes.
talking about when you talking
Dracula?
about Dracula? What you talking about when you talking
Dracula
about
is just a myth.
Yeah.
He's a
Dracula.
He's a
The
myth.
thing is Dracula.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay. I will say, I think this speaks to the movie. I could not find a 1-star review, which is nice.
Oh,
I do
that
have,
is
so I
good.
have instead a 2-star review. So somebody still mostly hates it.
All
There
right.
still had to be one crazy person. This comes to us from Ernest066,
Oh, that sounds like
who
an Ernest.
writes,
Jesus God.
Who
You
ri-
know what? My least favorite of the Ernest movies is Ernest 066.
Yeah.
Terrible.
that he was
Terrible
over the hill at
terrible.
that point.
Hey, we just run out of things to talk about. Hey, Vert. Hey,
That's when Ernest started flaming movies
they couldn't
online.
even get Gaylord Sartran.
Yeah.
To show Sartran
Oh
to
man,
show up.
some of those non-Disney. There's more Ernest movies than you might think because there are some of those that aren't produced by
Right.
Disney anymore,
Yeah,
and you're
there's
like,
about 14.
I
oh
know.
dear God, yeah, those are rough. Those are rough.
he
not
got his
good.
money.
Don't expect an
Yeah.
Ernest IP Squad season anytime soon, folks. I don't
Anytime
think.
Ooh.
soon, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean never.
Well, when I run out of stuff to
Uh,
do, once
Not
again.
if Brendan
yeah.
has his way.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we'll get to before Ernest. I'll tell you that right now.
Brendan wants a combination season of Ernest and Medea.
Oh God! Well, I don't think I could.
snap.
I don't think I could survive that. Hello.
He wants to call it Ernest versus Medea.
If only they had
That's-
ever
that was
crossed
my
paths
favorite.
on screen.
It's
Anyway.
like Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, it's just
Kinda
like
the
that.
same.
Two
Sure, no matter
titans.
who wins, we lose.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so here's Ernest's thoughts on the movies. This is the title of the review, and so ends
going.
the short,
Yeah, go ahead, we're
undistinguished career of Basil of Baker Street. That's the title of the review.
Snap.
What? Are you kidding me?
I waited almost 25 years to see this movie, thinking it might be an underrated work from a period of animation that was no longer of the quality it had once been. It starred one of the best film villains of all time, was based on a beloved series of children's books, and it was a Disney Studios production. What could possibly be wrong with it? As it turns out, almost everything. Well, not everything. Vincent Price's Radigan and Henry Mancini's swanky score are the movie's two saving graces. Price is wickedly enjoyable, and Mancini more professional than the material deserves. They bring class to a project that otherwise belongs in obscurity. Meanwhile, the rest of the movie, while filled with inappropriately adult situations, still suffers from a completely dull script, blandly generic voice work, terrible songs, and lazy animation that wouldn't have been out of place on any of Disney's mid-1980s Saturday morning TV shows.
Wow, Leonard Maltin came with the hammer.
This was a complete disappointment to
I
me.
thought he loved Disney.
It's amazing that this movie was nearly contemporary with The Secret of Nim, costing a fraction of this. An independent studio produced something with more creativity in its trailer than Great Mouse Detective has in its endless running time. The extra star that keeps this from being awful goes to Price and Mancini. 2 out of 10 stars.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
I mean,
disagree.
I will say
I'm gonna
it's
say
Disagree.
my hot take was Mancini lost whatever magic he had probably 20 years before.
Yeah, this
and
is
that
decent.
This movie has, like, to me, the goodbye song is great because Vincent Price is just digging in.
Yeah.
It works really well. But, you know, that to praise.
You didn't
just
find it
feels like he
swanky?
picked out the two names he recognized and said
Yeah.
they're good.
But I'll also say it's a little unfair to throw this up against a Bakshi.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Because
I know.
it's gonna
Don
be
Bluth.
Bluth. Sorry,
Don
it's
Bluth.
Bluth.
Yeah, Don Bluth.
But
yeah.
also, same thing where, yeah, there's greatness there. And that doesn't mean the Disney film is lesser by comparison. For one thing, extremely strong source material. Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim, man, I read that and I loved that in school. That was such a great book. Yeah, there's no reason to apples and oranges it.
Yeah, I have no. That's always the thing that baffles me in
both have
reviews
mice.
when people
They
will
both
just
have mice.
suddenly bring up another movie. It's one thing to bring up another filmmaker, like a movie from a filmmaker's resume or something like that.
Sure,
But to
yes.
just randomly be like, also, this other animated movie exists that came out like
and
4
it was
years
made
before
at the
this.
same time for less money and it's better.
Yeah. And it's also didn't even come out the same year, but it came out nearly the same time in 1982.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, and it's like seeing a
Yeah,
mob movie and going, well, it's not The Godfather. You're like, well, what? Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. I
and
that's yeah.
You okay, Ron?
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
it's a false
Ooh.
equivalency a lot of people use, where
Fuck
it's
that
like,
guy.
if it doesn't
dumb.
match the greatest
I like him.
example of something, then it's
Yeah.
and you're just
Yeah.
going
It's
like,
garbage.
yeah, most stuff isn't as good as whatever, and you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, I
so.
It's like sitting there and going, well, Star Wars came out approximately the same year as Star Crash. Therefore, I'm
Yeah.
going to break down both of them. It's like they're kind of different movies.
Look, man, I could do the same thing and I could go, I enjoyed this movie, but it was no Brave Star, which was on every morning before I went to school.
Brave
Sorry. No.
Star. Brendan, didn't both of you actually introduce some of
Brendan's
these
Brave Star
said
Corner?
didn't both of you actually host some of these said Disney Saturday morning shows?
No.
Oh.
The Disney
I did.
afternoon. Yeah,
Disney Afternoon. Yeah.
but it was the ones that were the syndicated shows of the time, so it wouldn't be that. It was DuckTales and Chippendales Rescue Rangers.
Isn't that what he's talking
and
about though when he
Darkwing
said that
Duck,
the
maybe?
animation is on par with those?
Oh, I don't know.
Lazy animation that
I-
wouldn't have been out of
well-
place on any of Disney's mid 1980s TV shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
That was what I was
I
referring
would disagree with that because Disney didn't have that many mid '80s cartoon shows.
Yeah, it was
that's
late
true.
All
80s,
of the
early
stuff we're
90s.
I was gonna say because
talking
I
about
those were the ones I
88,
grew up on,
89.
and that this would have been a
Tailspin.
They were good.
I loved
Yeah.
it. Those were all pretty high quality.
Also, when
They're
I
really
started,
good,
yeah.
it wasn't officially the Disney Afternoon on Channel 39 yet, so we still had Inspector Gadget. That's not Disney. That was mixed in there. Yeah.
Really?
I loved
Yeah.
Inspector
We
Gadget.
called it the Disney Afternoon when we were doing, or maybe they replaced something with Inspector Gadget by the time you were on.
Gadget.
No, I when
Loved
I was
Inspector
on,
Gadget.
we were doing Inspector
Guys, we're
Gadget.
talking
Then it
about
became
a local TV
kitty show that we did.
kitty show that I did, and then when I moved, my brother took
Yeah,
over.
we never
and-
actually
yeah,
got to do it at the same time.
Wouldn't that have
But,
been something?
there you
The
go.
crossover,
because we're really funny together, guys.
as
I
referenced by this. All
This
right.
stuff
Well,
you're hearing right now, only the
It's
tip of the
gold.
iceberg.
and if you want to hear even more from the Jones Boys and me and all the people on the Punch Up Entertainment Network,
Nice segue.
head over to our
Nice.
patron page, which is patreon.com/punchup and punchupent. We mentioned at the beginning of the show too, but like I said, you can hear us talk about a bunch of Vincent Price movies and a whole bunch of Peter
Yes.
Cushing movies. You can also hear Brendan and I break down every episode of Kolchak the Night Stalker.
Yes.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Yeah, super fun stuff. Lots of great content over there. As well as you
Yeah.
can get archived episodes of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters. Our earliest episodes are only available now on Patreon. And you can get
Oh.
our
From the
earliest
20s
and
and 30s.
newest episodes are also on there because you
So
also
you're
get
putting them behind
early-
the paywall now.
our Universal and Hammer seasons are now behind the paywall. Yes, so check those out.
Hey guys, and I just want to appeal to our longtime viewers and listeners.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
John has told me, if
Yeah.
we get 5 more people
Just
to
5
sign up for the Patreon,
Yeah.
5 more,
Just
Five
five
then
more.
Brendan and I
Yeah.
will get 1 cherry lollipop apiece.
And you go home with a beautiful tote bag.
Yeah.
Just $5 away. Anyway, yeah, so check that out. Also, make sure you follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/@punchupentertainment. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Next week on the show, guys, we would be remiss. It wouldn't be a Sherlock Holmes season without us discussing the work of Jeremy Brett. So we will be watching from 1987. This is after he's done the show. He's now doing movies. This is the feature-length TV movie of The Sign of Four. We'll be watching Jeremy Brett in The Sign of Four. Which is the first of the movie-length ones that he did.
All right.
Yeah. Jeremy Brett, he's one of those names that get, when people talk about the definitive Holmes, Rathbone, Jeremy Brett, these are the kind of the names that get tossed around.
That production, and we'll talk about it, it was just a class act from beginning to end, and 100%. He was great. And I look forward to it.
It's very PBS,
quick,
very BBC
Vincent
masterpiece.
Price, corner. Vincent Price was the second host of PBS's Mystery before it became part of the masterpiece umbrella.
Think Dame Diana Rigg.
Yeah, that's who I remember
Diana
doing
Rigg
it.
Following
that's who I remember doing it.
Evil Father from Theater of Blood.
I love it.
I think we play it. Another reason to go listen to Price is Right, because we used to play clips of his TV appearances, and I think one of those I did was from a PBS telethon of him doing a spooky bit as the host of Mystery.
Right. Where he says something like, I've faced a lot of incredibly gruesome challenges in my storied career of horror, but the most horrific thing of all is having no PBS.
I was going to say, I think that is the thing where it's like, could you imagine how scary it would be?
No Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Anyway, so next week, looking forward to some Jeremy Brett.
Yeah, definitely a different flavor in here.
Great.
After this. Jeremy Brett, of course. But that is going to do it. Until next week, the case file is closed.